The movie starts showing a universe in which two twin planets were very close to each other. Both these planets had their own gravity, due to which people lived in their respective planets without any problem. 3 rules of nature worked on these 2 planets, due to which everything was running smoothly on these 2 planets. The first of these 3 rules was that an object is bound by the gravity of the planet it belongs to, that is, the gravity of the planet on which a person was born held by the gravity of that planet, and the gravity of other planet does not pull it towards itself. Here the object from the second planet was called the inverse matter. And now the second rule was that if someone keeps the inverse matter of the opposite planet, then the gravity of any planet will not affect him and he will be able to move to opposite planet. But the third rule of nature on these planets was that whatever object the inverse matter came in contact with, that object would burn up within hours. Now, we are then shown an orphan boy named Adam in an orphanage in the lower world, who lived in the same orphanage, whose parents died in an explosion in the factory of Transworld. The explosion destroyed almost half of the city. After them, Adam's grandmother Becky was his only relative. Every weekend Adam went to her house to eat flying pancakes. The secret to these flying pancakes was hidden in a book that Adam would one day inherit. In fact, Becky used pollen in these pancakes that was collected from pink honeybees found in a mountain called Sage. One day Becky sends Adam into the mountains to collect pollen, and he reaches a great height in the mountain, where his hands touch the rain of another world. Adam then throws his toy plane into the sky and his plane goes into the upper world, where a cute girl named Eden picks up the plane and the two immediately become friends. From that day they both start meeting at the same place every day. When they both become teenagers, their friendship turns into love. Adam always pulled Eden to his world with the help of a rope, and thus they both kiss and hug each other, and they used to share the food they brought from their homes with each other. One day Adam takes Eden for a walk in the woods, then a group of guards see them, and starts firing at them. Adam runs to the mountaintop and carefully tries to send Eden back with the rope, but due to a bullet hits in his hand, the rope slips from his hand, and Eden falls to the ground of her world, due to which she gets hurt on the head. Seeing this, Adam starts crying. Later, when he goes home, he finds that his grandmother, Becky, has been arrested, and her house has been burnt. The scene shifts and 10 years later Adam is shown working in a mechanic shop, where he and his orphan friend Pablo work under the supervision of their boss Albert. Whenever he has free time after work, he tries to make an anti-gravity formula from pink bee pollen to tighten the skin, but its effect lasts only for a few seconds, because the things he needed to create this formula were found in the upper world. One afternoon when he is watching TV, he sees that Eden is alive, and works in Transworld, so he decides to work in Transworld to meet Eden. He gets the job by showing his anti-gravity formula experiment, but he was not allowed to interact or socialize with the people of upper world other than work, and he is also told that he can get severe punishment for stealing the inverse matter given to him for research. When Adam tells Albert all this, he is very angry with Adam, and calling him a fraud, because he wants to work with a company that has taken away their family and ruined his city. To this Adam says that he is not a fan of Transworld but this is his one chance to live a good life. After that, both hug and say goodbye to each other. Meanwhile, Eden visits a group that helps her regain her lost memory. In fact, Eden suffered a head injury in her childhood due to a fall from a mountain, due to which her memory was gone, so she went to a support group. Meanwhile, on the first day of work, Adam is given the first batch of inverse matter, which he handles and keeps in the fridge, and he also befriends Bob, an employee working in the upper world. Bob calls him into the smoking room because no one can see them there. Bob is a stamp collector, so he asks Adam to bring him stamps from the lower world. In return he promises to reunite Adam with Eden. Adam agrees to this. Days pass and Adam is obsessed with creating his anti-gravity formula. He steals a little bit of inverse matter every day and hides it in a suitcase. Along with this, he also tries to grow a special kind of flower under his desk. Then one day when Adam brings Bob a lot of stamps, Bob is very happy to that, and as promised he not only gives him Eden's phone number but also gives him some nice clothes to meet Eden. Meanwhile, Adam experiments his cream on a dog, which succeeds. Now he gets permission to experiment on humans too. After this success, Adam stays up late at night under the pretext of working, and when everyone leaves, he calls Eden from Bob's phone and tells her Bob is talking, and wants to meet her for some work. Later in the evening, he asks Pablo and Albert to make him a special suit in which he wants to hide the inverse matter and meet Eden, so that Eden would think he belongs to the upper world. Pablo doesn't understand Adam's plan. He says that even if he finds Eden, there the law of nature will not allow them to be one, but Adam didn't care at all. The next day, Adam goes to the maintenance room to change clothes, and as soon as he hides inverse matter in his clothes, his gravity changes. That is, he could go to the upper world with ease. He is about to leave when a guard goes there after hearing some noises, and Adam rushes into the elevator, but after meeting Eden, all his enthusiasm cools down, because Eden is unable to recognize him due to memory loss. Her secretary tells Adam that Eden has lost her memory due to a childhood injury, so she doesn't recognize anyone. After knowing this, Adam only talks about work with Eden, but in between he also mentions his childhood so that he remembers something. but there is no benefit. Gradually, Adam feels irritated by the inverse matter inside his suit, and he pretends to go to the washroom and leaves. He wets the inverse matter in the bathroom to cool it down. Then he starts to urinate, and because he is from Otherworld, his urine goes into the ceiling instead of the ground, and by floating, activates the alarm, and the fear of being caught drives Adam back to the lower world, and Eden still waits for him. The next day, as usual, the CEO of the company makes an announcement to lay off some of Transworld's employees. Among them is the name of Bob. Bob had been working with the company for 31 years, and he gifts Adam a box after retirement as a goodbye, and says that the box contains some extra tools for Adam's experiments. But when Adam opens this box, it contains Bob's id, with whose help, Adam could use the upward door to leave the building. After Bob leaves, Adam calls Eden again to ask her out on a date. Wearing an inverse matter suit and using Bob's ID, Adam exits the building for the first time through the upper world door. He is completely amazed by seeing the upper world and the technology there. He meets Eden at a restaurant, and asks her how she can forget him. At this, Eden gets upset about her memory, and then Adam changes the topic to make her normal, and they both eat together while talking. After a while, Adam's shoes start burning due to inverse matter. So he leaves, promising to see Eden again, and jumps into a river nearby. It throws off all its inverse matter, which reduces his weight, and he easily attracts the gravity of his word and reaches the stream of his world. That night, Eden has a glimpse of the meeting at the mountaintop in her dream, and Adam's voice is heard. The next day, when Adam is giving a presentation of his cream on humans at the company, then Eden comes in and asks him if he is really Bob. All of Adam's boss are there, so he can't lie, and reveals his real name. Eden feels that Adam is cheating her by lying, so she leaves there crying. Adam then stops his presentation in the middle and goes to find her, wearing a new inverse matter suit. Eden's secretary tells him that Eden has left the building. Adam also uses Bob's id to leave the building, but this time the machine was updated, so everyone knows that the card is not his. So the guards get suspicious of him, and they start chasing him. Adam immediately starts running away, and running into the city, he finds a way to escape the guard. He quickly loses all of his weight, so the gravity of his world pulls him up, and he goes to the balcony of a building and hides. That night, Eden has another dream in which she sees her first meeting with Adam as a child. The next morning, Adam goes to Bob's house. Bob realizes the situation and hides him in his house, repairs his suit to keep it from overheating. To thank him, Adam shows him his anti-gravity formula, and says he didn't tell the Transworlders about the ingredients used in it, so no one would steal his formula. Meanwhile, the Transworld people also get to know about its formula. The owner of Transworld orders his guards to find Adam before the police do. A while later, Adam goes to the same restaurant where he first met Eden. He is very happy to see Eden waiting for him there. Eden tells him that she remembers everything. Then both kiss each other. But just then the police arrive there looking for Adam, and Adam has to run out the window, and once again he loses his weight and go back to his world. Reporters on TV show the story of the lower world, and then Adam reaches the top of the mountain. Eden, on the other hand, does the same in upper world. The two meet again and Adam jumps with inverse matter and reaches the upper world, and due to their combined gravity of the two, they float in the air. After a while the guards see them and start chasing them, and to hide from them, they both start running into the forest. Adam then loses all of his weight, including inverse matter, and decides to take Eden with him to his planet, but on the way he stumbles upon an abandoned old plane structure, and tries to get out of it, but then a bullet fired by a guard hits Adam, so he tells Eden to leave him to save her life, but Eden doesn't listen to him. Meanwhile the guards come and catch her. Meanwhile, Adam luckily falls on a tree and his life is saved. He then starts to return home. He is then met by two agents sent from Transworld, who threaten to drop all charges against him if he gives them the entire anti-gravity formula, and promises never to contact Eden again. Adam feels that he will lose everything if he accepts their condition, and he will always be called a loser in the lower world. During this, Bob makes the formula even more advanced by mixing Adam's sample with water. Meanwhile, Eden finds special flowers planted by Adam, which reminds her of Adam, and she goes to ask Bob for help. The next day Adam shows up with Albert working in his apartment, where Bob comes to meet him. Seeing this, Adam is totally shocked as to how Bob came into his world without any inverse matter. Bob tells him that this miracle is due to his anti-gravity formula, which he has used on himself, due to which he is not affected by the gravity of any world, and he can easily go both planets. In this formula he used water to make it even stronger. Bob then says that he had already patented the formula in the name of Albert's shop before the Transworld guys, for which he collected money by offering all his stamps. Now his future was secure. Then Bob tells him that his girlfriend is waiting for him outside. Hearing this, Adam dresses up and goes to meet Eden. She was in the lower world. Thanks to Bob and this updated formula, she could live here permanently. Eden is overjoyed to meet Adam. Both are very happy about starting their family. Due to this formula, Albert's business starts doing well. Gradually the society starts to change and both the planets become equal in terms of class and technology. And this movie ends here.